All right, good morning to everybody. We are live here in sunny Singapore. Hope you are all doing well on this May the 13th, Thursday, May the 13th. My name is Andrew Han here at Trade with UFOs, daily FX US session, which starts very, very soon. The US markets open very, very soon. And if you need to reach me, you can reach me at andrew@traddictiv.com. And if you'd like to sign up to our membership, you can sign up with www.tradewithufos.com/Andrew, and we will get you onto our newsletter. And also you can see what other resources that we have out there that maybe you are interested in getting connected to, like our apps, like our courses, or even our coaching. All right. So some exciting things that we have going on this week with the markets. Bitcoin is kind of going a little crazy. We've got the S&Ps, the equities kind of coming off, as well as some of the currencies also selling off, with the dollar heading higher. So we'll talk a bit more about that as we get into these sessions. But first, let's just go through some of these disclaimers up the top here as you are getting all set up here and ready. For those of you who are on our YouTube channel, please do click our subscribe button. And if you are listening to us on Facebook or any of our other social media platforms which we're streaming on, please do click our like buttons, okay, and provide us any sort of comments at all about the sessions that we have, or even things that you're interested in us kind of going through. So, as kind of mentioned, we are simulcasting. If you are in our coaching session, which I know that many of you are, you're pre-connected through our website, tradewithufos.com/live. And what we're going to be doing today, though, is we're going to be continuing to stream through the whole time because I've got some really cool stuff to show you, and we're going to be just working through the markets using this new surprise I've got, newly launched technology. And so you may see that there is a little bit of a lag in our video casts as well, just because we are streaming worldwide. Okay, but if you do have any questions, please feel free to type those in the chat box, and we'll try to get back to you in a timely manner. If we don't get back to you here, we'll certainly you can send us an email, and we'll answer your questions. Okay. All right. So in this hour that we have together, let's get started. Go through, as usual, the market environment. If there are any sort of trades that we have put on or currently have on, we'll definitely talk about those. And we'll also be looking for some new opportunities out there. Okay. So for the new development, okay, we have a free webinar coming up tomorrow. It's going to be at 11 a.m. US Eastern, and that's 11 p.m. out here in Singapore. And it is the launch of our AutoUFOs for MetaTrader, something really, really exciting that we are, well, at least we're very excited about. But we also know a number of our clients who use MetaTrader are really, really excited about, because now they can have the AutoUFOs and AutoClimate on MetaTrader, right? So if you want to find out more about that, we have a QRC code here. You can scan that and register for the event, or you could type in the link below and sign up through there. All right. So there's some very exciting stuff, and in fact, I'll be showing you a little bit of, well, I'll be showing you that. I'll be working through that today in our sessions. Okay, And so we're very excited about this this new product launch. What also is very unique about it is that hey, you don't even have to have MetaTrader installed on your computer or anything. You could be using Mac, you could be using Linux, you could be using Windows. You could be, on an airplane. Well, okay, maybe not an airplane at the moment because nobody's really traveling. But you can be, anywhere in the world and be able to have access to MetaTrader. So to find out more about that, please do sign up for the launch of AutoUFOs for MetaTrader, which is Friday, May the 14th. For those of you who may be watching this video later. And don't worry if you've missed the session. I'm sure that we will have that up on our Trade with UFOs YouTube channel. All right. So just so that you know where to go, right, I'm also going to show you the sign up page here. Let me just bring it across. It's right here. Okay. All right. So just go to this website and connect up there, okay, and register. So just click there, register, okay, and you'll be all good. Now, for those of you who also maybe are new to this channel, who haven't been here before, we also do write a commentary on Bitcoin. That is in conjunction with the ICE Exchange, who have both a deliverable Bitcoin contract as well as a non-deliverable contract or a cash-settled Bitcoin contract. And every week I write a commentary, and that is available here as well. If you click on this or type in this link here, or even if you just type in your browser ICE Bitcoin commentary, I'm sure you'll find it. And some interesting things are developing, of course, with Bitcoin. The latest being, with Mr. Elon Musk, saying that Bitcoin is a environmental concern. Well, your Tesla cars use electricity too, so it's going to be an interesting topic of discussion, I think, going forward in the industry. Not just around Bitcoin, but around all of these emerging digital technologies. Okay, but for any sort of comments that you want to find my thoughts on there, or you just connect up to the commentary. Okay, so actually now it's May. So I need to kind of clean up this, but we do have our news flashes, of course, and again, kind of coming is the cryptos course that we are launching very soon. But we have got our empty MetaTrader technology launching tomorrow. So please, again, sign up for that webinar. But without too much further ado, let's get into it. What's going on in the markets, right? So I just want to show you a trade here that we've been in on the pound. So one of the things that you'll notice what happened here with the pound, if I just go up to the daily time frame here. And just for disclosure purposes, this is a demonstration account. This is using 100,000, and therefore the position sizes that we do are kind of adjusted for that sort of size, right? But just so that you can see here, what we had going on with the pound is on the daily. If I can turn on the UFOs that kind of trigger this downward move. Okay, so this was the on the daily. This was the unfilled orders, sell unfilled order, that order block that price has come into, right, and had responded to, right. So we had price come into that area on the daily, and now we've seen this price movement out of that daily area, right. And so down below here, close to 1952, we have this daily area of buy UFO orders. I'm just going to turn that back off again, just so we don't get too messy here on the charts. But after we had such a strong up move in price, we saw this movement lower. Okay. All right, this is where we saw the movement lower, and so we were in short on the pound and writing that down. So what we did on the 1 hour chart here is we saw prices move steadily lower down to this area of buy UFOs, down below here at about 1400. Just took off one contract and left the final contract here to ride. Now we don't know whether price is going to continue lower or it's just going to turn back up again, and so trailed the stop down to just above this area here of where price had moved lower, kind of shut up and then moved back down again. So we do have a corrective move here. So we have a strong up move in the pound and this corrective move to the downside. How far this goes, we do not know, but we can certainly use the other tools available to us to help us identify what sort of targets we can expect or plan for. And so you notice here I do not have a target because I really want to ride this as far as I can. But of course, if price hits back up to my stop loss, then okay, I've made profits on one lot. With price retracing up, maybe I'll take a little bit less than what is shown up here, 300. Maybe I'll go back to 150, something like that. But that's okay. This is trading. We don't know what the market's going to do, and we just have to manage our trade, manage our expectations, and use the technology available to us to help us make those decisions, right? So overall, the pound is coming off, and so we can look at also the auto climate, which is also telling us that there is the overall market has been to the downside, right? And so that's on the 1 hour. But if we go back, even though we've had a bullish climate because we did come into that area of unfilled orders on the sell side on this daily chart, there was an opportunity to take it short. So if you use any other sort of strategies to help you make your trade decisions, for example, if you apply, the RSI or stochastics or some other momentum type of indicator, that may have also given you a sense of price tapering off there. And so if we just want to take, one of these oscillators, for example. Let's say the relative strength indicator, the RSI, Okay, just use these default settings. As you can see again, price has come up. It was an overbought type of situation, and then started to roll over to the downside. So we are seeing downward momentum push prices lower. Of course, if we're able to get back down to this level down here, it would be a nice area, a nice set of profits to get from the top of the range there down to the bottom here. So if price kind of comes back down to these areas, just get my cursor here. Here. Okay. So if we this sort of move, 50% is roughly around here, so it's probably going to be 139.50. If we do get back down to here, where we do have a little bit of some buy UFOs down in this area here, we could see this as an area where we could definitely want to close off that second lot here for some nice profits. Okay, so that's what we've have on pound. Just a corrective move to the downside. Let's pull over to euro. Okay, here I don't have the RSI on, but we're kind of seeing a similar occurrence, right, where we had prices come into what was a daily sort of area. There is some sell UFOs even higher above, but price has come down, kind of looking to target down at these areas down here. Now these are on the daily, of course. So for price to move lower, probably see a little bit of a bump higher, or this could turn out to be a couple of days of basing before we head lower or head back higher. But clearly we do have this upward momentum. We've got our first daily sort of red confirmed down market at this point, or at least by the end of today, we'll see if this is going to be a confirmed downtrend. In which case, we want to see the lows here get taken out before we have a potential change in trend, right? So if we do have taking on our tools here, a trend line, right? So if we have price kind of move to the downside, okay, let's turn this off here. If we have price move down to the downside here and it breaks that low, then ideally we would more than likely see some sort of pullback. Coming back up. Then if we see a move further to the downside, this, one down here. Okay, if we see this sort of price action occurring, we have further movement down, a bounce up and then back down. So this would break this low and would indicate some sort of change in trend, or at least still some weakness in the euro kind of emerging out here, right? Kind of retracing back from the strong move that we've seen. So again, there's an area. So if it takes out this low and this area of buy UFOs, then there's a couple of other order blocks here, blocks of orders that price will need to will need to be absorbed by the sellers, right, in order for prices to head lower. Okay, but until then, we are in some have a bias to the upside on euro. Okay, so this is what we have here on the euro. Let's have a look at the Aussie dollar. Let's go pull that across here. There we are. Hiding at the back there. Okay, so for the Aussie dollar on the daily, we have some sell UFOs forming up the top here. So you can see prices has moved down, right? Kind of did this sideways move, rebounded higher, and we had a lot of congestion over a number of weeks in the Aussie, and then we had this move to the upside, and now we're kind of getting back lower, as the risk appetite kind of seems to be waning a little bit, right? And so at least we have some sort of pause, but we're coming back to these lows here. So again, we've got Aussie responding to prices around this 77 region, right? So when price had originally broken up, there's a lot of congestion. So we always seem to have a lot of congestion, that's been going on recently with the Aussie, over the mid-March, early April. Prior to that, it was also kind of the March sort of time frame, right? Still the March time frame that we had a lot of congestion, and even if we go back, we seem to be having a lot of congestion around this 77.50 area, and even down at the 76, 75, 50 type of area, right? We're getting a lot of congestion that's going on here. So this kind of range, it's really just range bound, the Aussie at the moment. After such a strong move, and also, I mean, if we look at what's going on with COVID, right? Australia shut its borders, but so has most other countries, that actually have borders. The restriction of movement between, whether it's Australia or New Zealand, or even here in Singapore, or around the region, travel is just at a standstill virtually. There is movement, of course, but it's very, very limited. So nothing like it was even a year ago. Things had basically stopped, right? And it hasn't gotten better. It's not going to get any better, and especially with what's been going on with with India and the concerns around the spread of that variant. It's no wonder that the currency markets are in some ways undefined, right? So even though the US dollar has been very weak, there is still trade obviously going on. There's a lot of online shopping still, so the economies are still working, but it's still very isolating, and so I think this next 3 to 6 months will kind of test the economies. And so even while the US dollar is very low at the moment, has moved higher just in the last day or two, as we've seen. How long that will last for, we don't know. This could just be a pause, right? As we see here with whether it be the Aussie or the Euro or the pound, it is a retracement move, kind of back to familiar levels. But whether that continues on, or this is just a pause and a continuation to the upside, is something that we have to see. And so again, with these, the understanding the macro picture helps us in many ways in kind of interpret the price action that we're seeing. But at the end of the day, what is key is price, right? And that truly is the measure of, or the expression, I should say, of what the markets are thinking of. And so if we draw a trend line, say to help identify this movement in the Aussie to the upside, and if we also highlight this area here to of the most recent high that we have here, and even if we took maybe this time a horizontal line here and tag that down the bottom here, right, that also gives us a sense of, well, where are the highs and the lows, what needs to be broken in order for price to continue on the one hand higher, or on the other hand some sort of potential future change in trend. At least we're not going to get any real change in trend until we break these lows down here. So breaking this low here, and we're looking at the daily here, right? Will likely indicate to the market of lower movement of the Australian dollar. But until we even if we get back down to 75.80, right, we're still in what really is a sideways ranging sort of movement in the Aussie dollar. And so something to just keep in the back of the mind, right, that even though we are seeing these strong moves in the market, it's not like it doesn't necessarily mean that there's a change, right, in the overall sort of sentiment of the market. It's just ranging between, in this case, like 79 to say 75. I mean, that's still 400 pips in a range. It's a good range, but nothing unusual. It's nothing to actually, in fact, it's good for us, right, as traders. We can trade the range. At the lows we buy, at these highs we sell, and so it helps us frame and set expectations for these markets. So for the moment, we do have some downward pressure. Breaking these lows here, we can probably expect prices to move lower. Okay, and so it's something to watch on the Aussie. If you are looking to take positions, really on the shorter sort of time frames here, let's go down to the hourly. See, Aussie's kind of coming back up here again. Too much. Okay, so I'm going to remove that line here so it doesn't get too much in the way. All right, so pretty strong move. It's a decent move to the downside. But like anything else, you get a strong move down, you get some sort of retracement to the upside. And so if we are, looking at trading this downward move and expecting some sort of continuation, right, of a move lower, it's okay, right, for prices to have a little bit of movement to the upside here. And maybe where price goes is back up to the 77, 75 level, right? And we still have, even with that sort of retracement to that level, right? We still have the opportunity for prices to come back down and head lower. Or what it could do is take that high, create a higher low, and then move up to the upside. Right? So there's many opportunities there for prices to move. So what we have also, I think, going on with the Aussie, if you want to look at things, from a smaller time frame, this is one of the things you can look at as well. Okay, at these lower time frames, and so if you throw on, say, a moving average, see an indicator here, just again to kind of give you a sense of what's going on in terms of trend. Let's put on an exponential, and let's call it so let's see what 20 will give us. Let's make it maybe purple with a bit of thickness there, just so we can see it. All right, and so here we can see the moving average here. Prices traded underneath there and headed lower. Some of you maybe like crossovers, right? I know that people like to use these crossover moving averages. So let's say we use 50, right? And let's make that one blue, right? And so not only do we have as price went lower, a corrective move to the sideways corrective move, and then we had a price movement lower, right? So even though price didn't get back up to this UFO up here, it did create a new UFO at this point. And so even if we do get price movement, ideally around here, okay, then that would still give us a good, say, 77 down to, so even if you took like 77.70, right? Let's call it 77.75, and you took that down, for say, 50 pips, right? So on one lot, that's about $100, $500, right? So that's not bad, right? So that's not too bad for a trade. Now, maybe you take it off at 20 pips or 30 pips, whatever your trading plan tells you to do when you're looking at intraday type of trades, right? And we know that if you throw in an ATR, an average true range, right? On a daily chart for most of the majors, right? Except for pound's been kind of moving pretty strongly, or even Canadian. But the amount of pips, right, that move is usually in a day can be like 50 to 70, right? So if you take say half of that, right, would it be 30 or 20 pips a day, right? Using even just one lot, right? I mean that's say $200, right, for 20 pips. So that's good enough, right? I mean, especially if you're starting off. Now, of course, you've got a bigger account that can take larger margin. That in terms of risk, you can make sure that it's kind of a tuned to your risk, right? Then you can do larger size, right? And so let's say you want to make $400 a day, right? So 25 pips, right? Then you just do 2 lots, right? So these are some of the things that as traders you kind of need to work out how you're going to tackle these markets based on your account size. What sort of risk are you willing to take? Is it 0.5%, 1%, 2%? How many times are you willing to be wrong, right? The 3 in a row, so 5 in a row. So all of these different parameters you kind of need to work out. But most importantly, right, is going to be a trading psychology now. I'm sure some of you may have been noticing, right, that that one lot, it's kind of, it went down went up, I should say, it's close to 400 or 500, but now it's down to 200, So, I mean, geez, right? It's kind of like, are you going to take profits here, or are you going to are you going to stick to a plan, or what are you going to do, right? I've decided, right, that, hey, look, I'm just going to wait for, hey, look, if it goes all the way back and takes out my stop, well, okay, I made less money, right? But that's for the potential of making more money if it hits all the way further down to say 130, 39.60, right? So these are the other aspects of trading which you kind of need to take account of as well, right? When you want to be serious about this stuff. So it's not just the indicators. It's not just the the technology, right? It's also the psychology, and so these are the things that we cover, here in Trade with UFOs, and it's not something to ignore either. It's a you're going to take a longer term view of what you're trying to do when you are dealing with the financial markets here. So we've looked at Aussie, we've looked at pound, we've looked at euro. Let's just look at one more. Going into yen here. Yen. Drag that over here. And there we are. Okay, back up to daily again. And this has also been a market that was pretty weak, right? So as the dollar kind of got weak, the yen was pretty strong there. So this whole uptrend in the dollar has kind of put a bit of a pause, especially against the yen, and but now we see that dollar kind of getting a little bit stronger, back up to this area of selling, right? Potential selling of dollar versus the yen. So while we have this strong move higher. We've got a retracing move here. We have not a higher high versus here, so it hit some sell orders. We now have a higher low where we have UFO looking like it's starting to get formed here. We've got a strong move to the upside, but we still don't have a change in trend yet. Right? The yen can still, dollar yen can still move higher, but it has to move beyond this 110, probably 111 now, right? In order to see a continuation of trend. But until it does that, we have selling pressure probably going to be coming back in here. Right? So what that tells us is at least for dollar yen, a stronger dollar is, strong dollar at this point is probably at least temporary for at least against the yen, right? We really need to look at the dollar in its own right versus the other currencies, because as we trade those currencies. But if we really get to see a stronger dollar kind of come back into play, then we really need to see it clear, 111. Right? So while we have this move to the upside, going down to the 1 hour, maybe for a little bit of an intraday type of look. As we look at the technology update here. Looks like there's some action going on in gold. I've got some pretty nice spreads here on the majors currencies here. Some crazy sort of action going on here. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, I think it's just the rendering of the charts here. So I have a strong move up here, and so again we have these highs taken out through this strong movement in the dollar, the dollar yen moving higher. So I get some congestion here. Even if we get a bit of a pullback, that's still okay. If we get a bit of pullback, it's probably going to be a good thing. Coming down into this area of buy orders, and then a continued move higher. Otherwise, again, like I was saying before, the Aussie, if we see a higher low put in here, and moving back towards 111. Then likely we'll see some sort of continuation of trend if it breaks that 111 point. Otherwise, if we see price come down here and then we see a lower high kind of form after putting in this what potentially could be a higher low, then it puts that move to 111 in doubt. Right? If we can't get past this 109.80 level, and we put in a bit of a zigzag here, then it does put that move back to 111 in doubt, right? So you always got to plan out, right, the various scenarios that potentially could occur, and that's what that also is what makes trading interesting. It's never a dull moment, especially in the crypto world where you have the likes of Elon Musk one day touting the benefits of Bitcoin to pay for his Teslas, and then going on a Saturday Night Live and then changing his mind the day after about Bitcoin and how they wanted to use it for payments of their vehicles, right? So the fickle world of business. But here on the currency side for dollar yen, this is what I mean, right? If we do get a lower high kind of put in here and kind of takes out that what would have been a higher low if it held, then that whole change is in doubt, right, to the upside. So unless we have this sort of high taken out, then we have a greater chance of clearing out that 111 level. Right? So we'll see what happens. I can't seem to get this tool up to where I want it to be. Yeah, so there we go. All right, that's where I want it to be. Okay, so they're the markets that I had to share with you guys today. So that covers the trade in the pound, which was a nice move to the downside. Took some profits there. Managed to show you how we're managing that trade so that we still trail that stop. Looking forward to prices moving lower if they can. But if we see it retrace and we get taken out, well, hey, look, at least made some money, and we just look for the next opportunity. Then we looked at euro, similar sort of situation where we've had some strong move. Same with the yen, same with the Aussie, all sorts of strong moves going on there. And now we're just really waiting for retracements and to see if those are going to hold. Put in some either new highs or new lows, or lower highs or higher highs, as the case may be, in the direction of the trend, or potentially those changes in trends. So there you go. This is a little bit of a sneak preview of what Jose is going to show you tomorrow. But if you are not watching this in time for that, then please do go and watch the recording of this launch of AutoUFOs Metatrader, and yeah, if you're interested, please do subscribe to that. Okay, all right, I'm going to end off here. Take care, everybody. Trade safe. Have a good rest of the week. Friday. Have a good Friday and a good weekend ahead. Okay. All right. So take care. Catch you later.